What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the Tundra Dude 34 YouTube channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be involved in everything we do. We would love to have you on board. Okay, today is a fun video for me to make. I make these videos to help all of you out when you're making your decision to come to the Toyota Tundra. And those videos have to do with owners who went from another brand to the Toyota Tundra, some pros and cons, things like that. But we have a special video today. First person we're going to hear from is Ryan. His name is Ryan. He came from a 2014 Ford F-150 3.5 liter EcoBoost that he bought new, and he's going to tell you the reason he switched to a Toyota Tundra. We do have those videos every once in a while of people coming over and saying what they like and dislike about the truck. So we will see and hear from Ryan there. He has some pictures we're going to throw up and everything. It's going to be awesome. And then we're going to do something that I don't think we've ever done on this channel. We're going to hear from another owner named Brian, who was a Tundra owner and switched to the F-150, and he's happy about his decision. And he's going to give you some pros and cons of each of the trucks, okay? Now that's awesome because we're going to get to hear both sides of the story in the same video. And then obviously I want you guys to go down in the comments below and let me know what you think. Have you been one of these folks that have come from another brand and now you're in the Tundra and you're happy? Or are you one of these folks that had a Tundra, switched to something else, and you're happy? It all helps everyone in the long run. When you're spending this kind of money on a truck, upwards of $55,000 to $60,000, depending on the trim you get, it's always good to know the pros and cons. It can't all just be pros. There are going to be cons of everything. So when you have this kind of data to go off of what actual owners are doing with their trucks out there, it's fantastic. And it's why I love to make these videos to help you guys out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Ryan, who went from, like I said, 2014 Ford F-150 3.5 liter EcoBoost into a Toyota Tundra. So let's hear his story first. Okay, so this is Ryan's story, my conversion to Toyota. Hello, my name is Ryan Hanaski, and I follow you on YouTube, and I wanted to tell you about my conversion to my Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. P.S. Keep in mind, with this I am also 6'7", so I am not a small guy by any means. My very first truck was a used 2000 Ram Laramie, and it only lasted me 2 years, and it cost me thousands of dollars in transmission repairs. In the end of it all, I had gone through 3 transmissions with it. After the third one, I decided to get rid of it and drove a Chevy Equinox in the meantime while I decided what truck I wanted next. My wife is an avid Toyota lover and told me several times to get into a Toyota Tundra, but sadly I didn't listen to her. The truck I decided to buy was a brand new 2014 Ford F-150 with the FX4 package with a 3.5 liter EcoBoost. I was so happy when I bought my new truck, but soon enough it became one of my biggest regrets. It ran great, but then at 50,000 miles, I had a misfire issue. Then at 70,000 miles, I had the same misfire issue, and it happened again at 80,000 miles. At 60,000 miles, they said my turbos were leaking coolant, and then at 100,000 miles, when I got rid of it, they were completely gone. Over time from the day that I brought my truck home, all of my electrical either didn't work properly or went out. My control arm completely shorted out, so my wipers remained on no matter what. There were also several other small things that went wrong with my truck. When I was finally done with all of the issues with my Ford F-150, I realized that my wife's 2009 Toyota, bought brand new, spent less time in the garage than my 2014 Ford, bought brand new. So I decided it was time for a new pickup truck, and this time I entertained a test drive of a Toyota Tundra. I fell in love with my 2020 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro from the very first minute I sat in it and drove it. The truck came home with me that night from the dealership. I am 100% a Toyota guy for life now and will never drive anything else. Okay, so there was Ryan's story about coming over from his F-150 to the Tundra. Now, we see this a lot, all right? People go out, they buy an F-150. It's the king of the mountain. They sell almost 1 million units of the F-Series a year, which is definitely commendable. The Ford F-150 is an iconic truck. We have to give it credit where credit is due. But this is something that I hear very, very often. And this is where the Tundra really sells to that buyer. When you've had a lot of issues in another brand, and maybe you're getting into a Toyota Tundra and you're not getting those electronics and those features like you're used to, but the truck is going to get you from point A to point B safely with no problems, right? So that's the big draw to a lot of people. They come over from something that's been giving them trouble for a long time. They get in a Tundra, they instantly realize, wow, I never gave this truck a chance. I don't know why. What's wrong with me? You guys know, if you've been around the channel a long time, we hear it all the time. I never even considered a Tundra. Then they test drive a Tundra, they fall in love and say, and this is one of those things we hear all the time, this is the best truck I've ever owned. So Ryan now has a 2020 Tundra TRD Pro, and he couldn't be happier. So Ryan, all I ask from you is keep us updated on your truck, pros, cons, whatever you got going forward. I appreciate your initial email, and I am happy that you're happy. And as always, you should have listened to your wife. Happy wife, happy life. Okay, but now we will look at something different here. We're going to look at Brian. So it was Ryan first, now it's Brian, who's going to tell us why he traded in his Toyota Tundra for an F-150, and it sounds like he couldn't be happier. He also provided us with some pros and cons of each truck. So let's take a look at what Brian has to say, and hopefully we could learn from this story as well. Check it out. Okay, Brian says, I purchased the 2013 Tundra Crew in 2015, 5.7-liter two-wheel drive SR5. At the end of 2019, I traded it in and drove my wife's car for a while waiting to find another truck. I put about 120 miles on it. COVID hit, and well, we all know what early 2020 was like. I had to wait a few months, but in July of 2020, I pulled the trigger on a F150 2.7-liter EcoBoost with the 10-speed. Before COVID, I did about 650 miles a week. I had to fuel up twice a week, and gas is expensive here in California. I was spending about $600 plus a month in fuel alone. I know many people say MPG doesn't matter, but they do when you can't write them off. Trucks are the new station wagon, and at 16 MPG, the math doesn't make sense anymore. I test drove the 2.7 Chevy 4-banger and was not impressed. I test drove the Ram 3.6 e-Torque and was not impressed. I drove the EcoBoost and was shocked. Here is a simple list of the pros and cons of each as I had experienced them. For anyone who does 15,000 miles a year or more, the reliability versus MPG argument is lost. You simply choose to give your money to Toyota or your local fuel retailer. Okay, here are the pros of his Tundra. Size, Crew Max. Number 2, power. Number 3, sound of the V8. Number 4, simple controls and a good layout. Number 5, reliable. Number 6, no turbos and 10,000-mile oil changes did not scare me. And here are the Tundra cons. Fuel economy, performance in cold weather, brakes and rotors every 30,000 miles and tires every 40,000 miles, visibility, and ride quality. And here are the Ford F-150 2.7-liter pros. Size, it's even bigger inside than my Tundra. Fuel economy, 22 average overall, high of 28 on some trips. Comfortable ride and quiet. Power, it's fun to drive. Off the line, she flies. And the cons of his F-150s. Sync 3 is terrible. Premium fuel is really needed above 90 degrees or long road trips. 89 is fine, but they should be more clear about that. Dash has been replaced already, along with the backup camera. And auto start stop. Okay, so Ryan traded into that 2.7-liter EcoBoost, and he is happy. I really appreciate the pros and cons from him on each truck. They were very honest, and that's the good part. Now, this is where it all comes down to how you spend your money, the way you use your truck. We talk about it all the time. Doesn't matter what brand. Brian there really needed good MPG, but he needed a pickup truck for his job. So in that case, he drove the Tundra for a while, couldn't deal with the 16 MPG. California gas prices are very high, so he went into that 2.7-liter EcoBoost, and it's getting him a lot more MPG. That is why research is such a big deal when you're buying a truck. Know what you need. I say that all the time. If you don't need a half-ton pickup truck, there's the mid-size options out there that have a little bit better gas mileage. If you're someone like Brian here and you're driving all over the place and you need the MPG, that is when MPG matters. We do say a lot that we don't care about MPG, we care about reliability, but in this case, it's the other way around. And that's the thing. You got to research and you got to go out there and test drive everything before you make your decision. Sorry about that little camera issue there, but before I leave you, first off, just want to thank Brian and Ryan for writing in. That was awesome. Again, don't forget to leave your comments below. I will leave you with playlists as I always do. The first one I will put up is the 2021 Tundra. So if you're interested in the current model year, go check it out. All the trim levels available, the colors, the special colors for TRD Pro this year and everything. Go check out that playlist. The other one I will put up is the Toyota dealership walks. Every Sunday, I go walk some local dealerships and just see the trends of sales with the Tundra, see what they have on the lot. With the parts supplier issue going on right now, it's a little bit different out there. We're not seeing as many Tundras as we see usually on the lot. In normal times, we're talking 10 to 15 Tundras on the lot. Now we're lucky if we see 1 or 2. So go check out that playlist. Those are a lot of fun every Sunday. If you're new to the channel, make sure you check out those videos on Sundays. And, if you guys walk dealerships, I say this all the time, don't be afraid to send me a video. I will add it to the end of my dealership walk videos on Sunday. It would be cool to see lots all over the country, so email me, tundradude34@gmail.com if you want more details there. All right, so those are the 2 playlists I will put up. I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comments below about going from another brand to Tundra or the other way around, Tundra to another brand. I would love to hear both sides of the argument. But until next time, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at TundraDude34, tundradude34@gmail.com. You guys have a great day. Be safe. Be well.